Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Kimberly Cox from Magical Mommy Spot, where we talk about neurodivergent parenting and relationships in a neurotypical world. Today is Monday. It is Monday Motivation, and we are talking about relationships because let's face it, it is February and Valentine's Day is next week. So we are going to talk about relationships with your significant other or best friend, someone who is super close to you, maybe roommate, something like that. So we're going to talk about motivation when it comes to healthy relationships with your significant other. Now, some of you may be here saying, but you're single. How can you possibly talk about relationships? And to that, I'm going to reply with this disclaimer, okay? I'm not a relationship expert. Not. I have, however, gone through lots of relationship situations where things didn't work. So I kind of have some ideas on some problems with communication and difficulties, and I'm trying to share the lessons that I learned with you before maybe things fall apart like they did in some of my relationships. So I'm going to, without further ado, jump right in. Tip number 1 is find ways to explain how your brain works to the people you love and care about. Okay, this goes for everybody. You're going to hear me talk about this in the next few Mondays too. Like, it's really important that people understand the way our brains work. Okay, if our brains work differently than the other person's brain, then we really need to help them understand how our brain works. So sit down, make a list of the quirks, or if you're neurotypical, sit down and make a list of maybe how you feel you differ from your significant other's quirks. That's another good one. And then I want you to look back, especially if you're neurodivergent, I want you to look through and I want you to look up those quirks. There's plenty of videos on TikTok and YouTube and places like that where you can find explanations for exactly which parts of your brain aren't firing or which parts of your brain need this chemical or that chemical. And anytime you can kind of put it in a more scientific text, people have a little bit of a harder time kind of arguing with it, okay? Because there's science behind it and it's medically kind of founded at that point. So, and then share either in conversations or, casually sharing these videos and kind of have a conversation if you can about it. Like, this is how my brain works. And so maybe you don't understand that that's how my brain works, but this is one of the things that, is different about me, and that can kind of help with the communication barriers and stuff, okay? Then tip number two is to be clear on who you are and what you want or need out of that particular relationship, okay? So this is a difficult one for a lot of us. I know it's hard for me. I have a really hard time, voicing my needs because I feel like forever and a day I've been telling everybody, I'm fine, no, I'm good, I don't need any help, I got this. And then silently drowning inside and crying and screaming oh my God, somebody help me. But I don't say that to people. So kind of be clear on what your expectations and what you need out of this relationship. If you need some help in some areas, people cannot read your mind. So I need you to be confident, because being confident in how your brain works helps to ease tension. When you share your eccentricities with others from a place of confidence, if you're sharing from a place where you're okay, this is just how my brain works, and if you want this to happen, then you're going to have to come at me from this angle, or otherwise I'm going to get defensive, or I'm going to get upset, or I'm going to get triggered, or something's going to happen. So you need to know these things, because I know you're not intentionally trying to trigger me, but if you don't want to trigger me, then this is the way to come at it. Clearly communicate your needs. That way you don't end up in this space of feeling resentful as you're contributing to everybody else's dreams and everybody else's life, and you feel like nobody's giving back to you. You need to tell people what you need and explain to people. Maybe it's, I just need someone to take the garbage out once in a while, or I need someone to clean the bathroom, or I need someone to tell me I'm doing a good job. We all need those things. Voice those out when you need them, okay? And try to start your conversations by expressing gratitude for the way that people are understanding and helping you out already. Because a lot of times we tend to go, well, I'm not getting the kind of help that I need and whatever, but we don't realize like people really do help us. If we're in any kind of a relationship, if we talk to people on a regular basis, they're helping us to some extent or another. So just be very grateful for what they do, because that gratitude is going to come across in a lot better way than if you were to just kind of jump on them and you're not helping me with what I need. And that's a lot of times we get to that place because we like starve ourselves for what we need for so long that we're just absolutely begging for it by the time we get it. And then I want you to be patient, offer grace, and also know your own limits. So when other people try to understand how our brain works, it can often be a lot to take in. You need to be patient as they're like kind of going through, what does this mean? Because sometimes you also, while there are those situations where it is a true, like, eye-opening moment, sometimes people don't understand that they've been making you feel bad. And when they finally figure out that this is how it makes you feel and this is why it makes you feel that way, it may kind of overwhelm them in the sense of, oh my goodness, I never meant to hurt this person. And they might pull away a little bit. They might feel bad. They might not know how to act. Because we've been dealing with this our whole life. People not knowing how to, to deal with this. People not knowing the right way to approach us and different things like that. So we just take it in stride, like, oh, you've hurt my feelings, no big deal. And a lot of people might not, especially when you're dealing with neurotypical people, they might be like, if somebody hurt my feelings that way, I would be incredibly upset. Like and so a lot of times you just need to give them that little bit of grace and that little bit of time and be patient. Offering grace means instead of being upset, we understand that people make mistakes and we forgive and move past them as long as they're willing to learn from those mistakes. So if someone's over here going, well, you can't tell me how to treat you, like, I've been doing this forever, I'm not going to stop, if you want me to stop, then you're just going to have to leave, whatever. Those are like red flags right there, y'all. That's not good. But if someone is truly in that state where they're like, I had no idea that this was hurting you this bad, or I never really understood how your brain worked and how you were interpreting what I was saying. Like, give them grace, work with them, allow them to come on board in the best way that they can. But as I said, also know when enough is enough. If you've been trying to help your partner understand and they're either unwilling or not trying to learn or work with you, it might be time to seek professional help. Go to a therapist. Get couples counseling, get couples therapy, where a therapist can explain things maybe in a way that you can't and maybe help you guys work through some things. And if the end result of that is you're not being respected, your boundaries are not being respected, you're feeling alone or feeling, disrespected and hurt all the time in the relationship, maybe it's time to consider that this might not be the best relationship for you. Sometimes I think we jump into things and we see everybody's best intentions and we go after this idea of their potential. But the truth is, not everybody is willing to work as hard to be in a relationship. So if you're working hard and the other person is not working at all or not meeting you, not seeing, not even trying. I mean, sometimes it's really difficult for people to wrap their brain around something totally different and new, and we get that. But if they're not even attempting to try, at what point are you just going to continue to spin your wheels and feel like you're just draining yourself? So I hope that these tips help you. Wednesday, we have a fun little exercise to help talk about relationship goals, which I'm super excited. I just filmed that video, so I'm excited about that. Again, I'm Kimberly Cox from Magical Mommy Spot, where we talk about neurodivergent parenting and families in a neurotypical world. If you have not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, that bell notification button, so you never miss a video. Drop me a comment, follow me on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and I will talk to you guys all later.